What is up, YouTube? We are back 2 for 1 for the second time ever. First time since early May, late April that we're doing a 2 for 1. And we're only doing it because I will not be here to recap this mid card we have this week. I will not be here to do it in a timely fashion to break down 322. So we got to do predictions for the mid card this week as well as that stacked pay-per-view the following week, UFC 322. I haven't decided if I'm going to play through this one. I might really need to lock in and break down all this because it's a lot. Not really this week, but next week is a lot. We got to do it all within an hour, so we're going to start it up. We got to go through the mid card first, and I'm glad it's the mid card first because once we get to 322, we're locking in. We did have some fight cancellations come up, some pullouts, I think. We got some crazy stuff though. Dante Johnson, I believe, and it still stands. He came back and will be turning around on 4-day notice. Just fought 7 days ago, not even. It'll be 7 days by that time. So shout out to Dante Johnson. He's looking like he's ready to go and get that done. I gotta get over here. I gotta see what's going on. Okay. Alright, so, and we'll start with that fight. That is the first fight of the day. We got Dante Johnson taking on Jackson McVeigh. I don't think McVeigh is that good. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's that good. Dante Johnson, it's like weird. Like, he showed that he's not able to gas out that easily last week against Dumas, but I think he also has some holes. I think he's still way better than Jackson McVeigh, though. I think even on 4-day notice, 7 days after his last fight, where he took like no damage, I do think he's gonna run through Jackson McVeigh, and he is gonna get that first round KO, and he's gonna end up being somewhat of a name to look out for going into 2026. I'm not going to put him top prospects yet. I got to see how he does with these. But respect that he's taking on short notice. I'm still rocking with him. I think he's better than McVeigh, and that's how we're rocking there. On to the next fight. We got Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. Tricky fight, low-key. Miles Johns is not a guy you ever want to sleep on. You don't want to sleep on Miles Johns. I don't think he's top 15 caliber, especially at this point, but I think he can give guys of Daniel Marcos's level some trouble. Marcos, I think, is kind of overrated. But I am going to go with the younger fighter in Marcos because I just don't know if I can trust Johns. I could see Marcos being a little more efficient, putting out more volume, just being a little more versatile with striking. But I actually could see Johns clipping Marcos pretty bad in like the second or third round, though. But we'll see what happens. I'm rocking Marcos by decision. On to the next fight, we got Denise Gomes versus Tisha Pennington. Tough fight, man. I wanted to give Tisha Pennington, but historically she gets robbed. She's probably going to get robbed on this one again. And that's what eventually made me go with Gomes' decision. I do think Pennington will be winning from my point of view when we look back on this on Saturday. I am going to rock Gomes' decision, though. So, yeah. On to the next fight, we got Josh Hockett versus Max Jimenez. I don't know anything about Max Jimenez. Hockett fought on like one of the 2 Dana White Contender Series episodes I did not watch this year, but I heard he looked decent. And for that reason, I am going Hockett first round KO. Just throwing it out there. We'll see what happens. On to the next fight, we got Myra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Oh man, what a life this is, man. What a life this is indeed. Bueno Silva tried going up to flyweight. Got dogged. I think it was by Jasuda Vicious. Now she's coming down. She's facing one of the best prospects at bantamweight right now, who's not even that good, but still, she is technically a prospect with how shallow that bantamweight division is. Sorry, I had to drink water. This is pretty aggressive right now. Cavalcanti, man, I think she does keep it too close. And it worries me, but her striking is very versatile, and I think that's just enough. She's going to get past Bueno Silva. There's definitely going to be a round or two, though, where Cavalcanti, probably the first round, Cavalcanti on the ground the whole time. I could see Bueno Silva gassing out as the fight goes on. Cavalcanti really puts that skill set to use, and I'm going to go Cavalcanti decision there. On to the next fight, Hyder Mill versus Jamal Emmers. Can't remember last time Emmers fought. I think he won, though. It wasn't against anyone that good. Emil was on an insane win streak, but just recently-ish, about 4.5 months ago, got flash KO'd by Jose Delgado 26 seconds into the fight with that knee up the middle. That was crazy. I think Emil is overall the better fighter. Durability a little worrying, yes, obviously. That was a pretty nasty knockout. But I have to go with Hyder Emil here. I think he is the better fighter, more well-rounded, bigger name to watch out for, whereas Emmers is, I think, mid-30s now. Kind of always has been in that mid-unranked tier. But we'll see what happens. I'm going with Emil, and I'm going to say second round KO. I could see flash KO and a comeback for Hyder Emil. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. On to the next fight, we got Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Low-key a tricky fight to predict. Tulio looked really good, but who did he look good against? One of the worst fighters, IQ-wise at least, in the middleweight division in Tresean Gore. Which sucks. I was a big Tresean Gore fan. That's tough, but he looked really good in that fight. But it was against Tresean Gore. Christian Leroy Duncan. I think he lost to RoboCop. That wasn't his last fight, but the fight before that, or 2 fights before that. I don't know, man. I was really high on Leroy Duncan. But after that Gregory Rodriguez fight, I was like, oh, there's so many holes. And if RoboCop is doing this to you, oh, brother, top 15 of middleweight, they're all going to run through you. Not all of them, but most of them. But I don't know. Tulio striking is legit, but so is CLD's. I don't know. I think I want to go Tulio. Very close fight. Maybe a split decision. I'm going Tulio decision. That's very close. Tough to predict, but we'll see what happens, man. Then we go to Ione Barcelos versus Ricky Simone. This is tough, but it's not. It's weird. It is weird. Simone low-key kind of back on a heater. Got the Basra KO. I think he won. Who did he just face? He just faced someone else. Did he lose? No. Okay, and then he just beat Cameron Smotherman, I think. After that, that was on the Atlanta card. I think that was short notice, but he schooled some other men, I think. I think I had it 30-27, maybe 29-28. Simone's legit. I mean, he always kind of has been. I mean, but he just has some weird losses sometimes. But Ione Barcelos kind of looks like he's still around. I can't remember if he lost or won his last fight. He's fought after that great Payne Talbot performance. It wasn't even that great. He just held him down the whole time. But still impressive, especially considering Talbot just ran through Lima. Um, I think I got to go with Ricky Simone. Probably more likely in this prime. His grappling is going to cancel out Barcelos. It's going to be on the feet. I could see Simon low key actually kind of, now that I think about it, having, I wouldn't say field day, but I think he's going to be clearly winning this fight. So I'm going to rock with Ricky Simon decision. On to the next fight, we got Chris Padilla versus the first of the Bonfim brothers fighting on the card, and that's Ismael, the lightweight. Chris Padilla just wins. It's crazy. I don't think he's that good, but he keeps winning, and you gotta respect that. Bonfim at one point, especially after the McKinney win, I thought he was going to be one of the dudes to look out for. He was going to be the guy. He lost to, was it Benoit Saint Denis? And then Sadikov was it last time? Um, Bonfim is so good. He's fairly well-rounded, striking definitely way better. But Chris Padilla's sneaky, man, especially with the grappling. I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. How do I want to approach this, you know? I could easily see either of these guys winning, low-key. I think I'm going to rock Padilla second round sub. I have a weird feeling he's going to get it done again. And then, like, I'm probably going to hop on the train after. Because, like I said, even though Bonfim has some weird losses, especially recently, he's no joke. Bonfim is legit, man. Ismael. Very technical. He just somewhat unlucky, I guess you can call it, with the Sadikov kick. Because his eye was swollen up, like, immediately. And then he lose to before. Saint Denis, I think he just got absolutely out-grappled. And that's why I think Padilla is going to win. Could be remember that wrong, but I don't know. On to the next fight, though. We got Uros Medic versus Muslim Salikov. Low-key tricky fight for me to predict again. Uros Medic sometimes looks like, okay, he might be able to crack top 15. And then there's like other times where I'm like, dude, this guy shouldn't even be in the UFC. Salikov is so old. He's so old, man. But if he throws one of those random wheel kicks, I could see Medic being on the receiving end of that. I don't know, man. Salikov's striking is still legit. He's old. It's like 42, 43, I think. He's old, bro. And that's old now, apparently. It's definitely old for a sport, even at welterweight. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I gotta go Medic's decision. I think I just gotta trust in the younger guy again. It's low-key. I could see myself regretting this one. I'm gonna go Medic's decision. We'll just call that how we want to. My goodness. Yeah, I'm not confident in that fight, I'll tell you that. On to the co-main event. We got Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. Joseph Morales, I think, yeah, he won the tough this year. Second stint in the UFC, I'm pretty sure. Um, and he's looking somewhat legit, man. He beat that one Kazakh dude that like people were like, oh, he's sick, and he was not sick. We saw he was not sick. Matt Schnell, I think, is coming off a win. But Matt Schnell's durability, bad. It's really, really bad. I don't know, man. I don't know what I do here. I do, actually. I'm going to go Morales, second round sub. He gets it done again, makes a statement. They'll kind of be watching out for him after that, but Schnell win doesn't hold that much value anymore. But either way, I could still see him putting on a pretty decent performance, but I'm going to go Morales, second round sub. On to the main event. Probably the worst main event of the year in terms of name value and title stakes, at least. Not actual fighters in the fight itself. It probably will be a good fight. I could see it actually be a good fight. Randy Brown always has a fun fight. Uh, Even like the Brian Battle fight, which wasn't that fun, it was still like somewhat entertaining from what I remember. So, and then Bonfim always goes for a finish. He's finished or be finished. It feels like actually, oh, actually, no, that Wonder Boy fight says otherwise, but yeah, I don't know. I could see Bonfim having success with the striking and grappling early, and then start to fade as the fight progresses. And I'm going to predict Randy Brown flash KO towards the end of the third round, and finds his way back into the rankings, rightfully so. But I think Randy Brown looked really good. It was, I know it's Dalby, but Dalby is, I think that was the first time Dalby's ever been finished. In like 30, 35 plus pro career fights, I think Dalby has. That was the first time he's ever been finished, or at least KO'd. Like Dalby actually beat Gabriel Bonfim actually a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure. I wasn't watching that, but I'm almost positive that happened. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I don't even think I'm watching this card. I don't think that's even happening. I don't even think I'll be around to watch the card. I might miss this whole card. Last whole card I missed, or essentially whole card I missed, was the UFC Baku, Azerbaijan. I was at a wedding. This one I just might not be around for. Maybe, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with missing this one. I'm not too confident in most of these picks. It was a tough card to predict compared to other ones. There's other ones where I can look at it for 10 seconds and be like, this is what I'm doing. This one I was like, there were a few that I was like looking at for like a minute, and I was like, oh, I don't even know. And then I'm even making a video trying to play a poker face. I'm still like, ugh, maybe, but but we got to move on to the next video. All right, UFC 322. We're breaking it down. I gotta get there first. Oh, gosh, it's such a pain. Okay. Oh, no. Nope. I missed it. No, we're good. Okay, perfect. UFC 322. We are looking at 13 fights as of right now. I hope nothing gets canceled. Stacked card, absolutely stacked card. Wow, boy, did they do MSG right this year. They added some other things too in the past few weeks. They added two really good fights that round out an insane main card. I'm actually so excited for this card. I really am. There's so much on the line in terms of legacy, multiple divisions on the line, obviously. You got like four divisions technically on the line right here, which is kind of crazy. You got welterweight and women's flyweight, obviously. You got lightweight on the line right here. There's rumors that Deporia is waiting on this fight before signing his next deal, which kind of makes sense. That will also line up around the time his brother fights, whatever. Then you also got UFC strawweight on the line here. What does that all mean? So welterweight in general, you got an arguable title eliminator. You have the actual super fight, even though it's not technically a super fight. It should. Both of the title fights are super fights, technically. But you have Islam moving up. You have Brady versus Morales. That will determine the next. Um, I'm losing my words. That will determine who's going to be probably the next person to face the winner of the title. I can't really see Ian Gary jumping that line unless him staying on that protest card really did do him some wonders and the Shavkat thing. But maybe Ian Gary does get him. We just all have to suffer through that. Um, Either way, I think there's so much on the line. Welterweight, lightweight could be on the line too, because I doubt it. I still really doubt it. But if, let's say, Islam loses and Ilya's still chirping, whatever, and UFC's like, hey, if you go back down to lightweight, we'll give you an automatic shot again because you have the most lightweight defenses, whatever. And Islam does that, even though it wouldn't hold the same value, it would still be such a massive fight. There's so much on the line. The Dagestan, Georgia thing. Maybe you do White House with it. Probably not. But I'm down with it. We'll see what happens with that. And then you got UFC, or you got the women's flyweight. A lot on the line there, obviously. Um, I wish they didn't do the Wei Lee fight yet. I get it. But I wish they didn't do it. Flyweight does have some contenders right now. And as in contenders, I mean Natalia Silva. Like, what are we doing? We're just holding her out for whatever. It's whatever. And then potentially UFC and the UFC women's strawweight division. If Zhang loses, she probably will go back down, and she will just easily take that belt away from Mackenzie Dern. It's not saying maybe. No, she's going to take that belt away from Mackenzie Dern. And Mackenzie Dern beats Zhang Wei Li. It's all rigged. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Actually, I don't even know if that would be rigged because maybe they want Zhang to be champion. I don't know. I don't care. We're off it. I'm just saying 4 divisions on the line. We're breaking it down. We got to get right into it. Starting off with the first fight, we got Shepe Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini. Sabatini just destroyed Joe Anderson Brito. I'm almost positive that was my lock of the night too, that Brito was going to win, and I had a weird feeling or something like right before that fight where I'm like, dude, watch Sabatini just hug him the whole time and Brito does nothing. That's what happened. And I don't really fault Sabatini. You gotta do what you gotta do to win in that. Brito's forever dangerous and just boring, but he got it done. So that was a great win for Sabatini. That might also age very well for him. Chepe, I think he just lost. Or is he still on an insane streak? No, I think Chepe is still undefeated in the UFC. I want to check. But I'm not going to. I wish I wasn't a casual. Oh my gosh. Chepe, though. Insane gas tank. I have a weird feeling. I know he doesn't really finish fights. He just wins, but I think I'm going Chepe second round KO. Out of nowhere to a gas pad Sabatini. I'm expecting that. I think I think that's a great fight to even start the card off. Usually I'll get a random women's bantamweight one. You know what I mean? I'll take that all day. On to the next fight. We got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. Oh man, this fight is actually going to be so good too. I don't even know where to begin with this. We will start talking about Malcolm Wellmaker. So, Wellmaker is one of the hottest prospects in the sports right now. Has probably the most lethal right hook in the sport right now. Um, I think he has 3 KOs. All 3 come from that right hook. Just recently took out Chris Matinho that was killing the regional scene. Took him out. Made it look way too easy. And then before that, Cameron Simon, who I know is on the skid, but he's legit. He gives me Ismail Bonfim vibes where I'm like, okay, yeah, you're. I mean, but I was saying Bonfim was a little more unlucky, but no. I think great fighters are just not the guys that they're getting matched up with are just better, but which is unfortunate, but they're just not getting these random can crushers. But Cameron Simon, I still think is legit. I don't know who he'd be on the contender series, but that was a nasty right hook as well. Wellmaker's legit. However, and I know everyone is talking Wellmaker first round KO, maybe second, Wellmaker by whatever he wants, and it's very possible. It really is, especially with that power, with that type of power he has. He's no joke. Problem is, Cody Haddon, and I know he hasn't fought in like over a year, I'm pretty sure at this point. Cody Haddon was on my watch list. I think he only has 1 fight in the UFC. He did kind of slow down from what I remember, which is a little concerning going into this. But Cody Haddon, insane striking, decent grappling. Pretty sure he was supposed to face Alexander Topuria, and then he backed down. And then I think his teammates saved him, or I don't even know if their teammates are from the same area though, like Australia, New Zealand. Um, but I think Haddon's somewhat legit. I don't think he wins though, but I don't think he gets finished. For that, I'm going Wellmaker decision, man. I could see Haddon having his moments, but I think Wellmaker is just gonna. I don't know. I think Wellmaker's just gonna do enough, but it might be low-key somewhat dominant, because I could see Haddon slow him down again. But that low-key is such a sneaky fight. It's gonna be an interesting fight. We'll see what happens there. Got 2 guys that are prospects, and don't get me wrong, Wellmaker way bigger one, obviously, but Cody Haddon's legit, man. That's why I don't see Wellmaker finishing him, especially in the first round. So we'll see what happens, though. On to the next fight, we got Gregory Rodriguez versus Roman Kopylov. Tricky fight. I'd imagine winner of this stays and fights into the rankings a little bit more. I think they're probably 14, 15 if I had to guess. Maybe RoboCop's right outside. Kopylov coming off that crazy Chris Kurt. Oh no, he just lost the cast. But before that, had the crazy Chris Curtis win. Ooh, yeah, okay. So that happened. RoboCop's coming off a crazy one against Hermanson. Made Hermanson move down to welterweight. That is kind of crazy. This is low-key trickier of a fight than what I initially thought. What I initially thought, even though they're actually both the same age, which is so crazy. If you look at both these guys, if I looked at Roman Kopylov and you're like, guess his age, I'd say 18. RoboCop, I'd guess 45, 50. They're both 35 or 34, I think. Something crazy. I think Kopylov's going to win by decision. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to regret that. RoboCop just scares me more, honestly. That's what it kind of came down to. I think both guys have pretty big holes in their game. Like, don't see them getting up that far in the middleweight division, but I could see Kopylov just starting to get his as the fight goes on. I could see RoboCop winning round one, stunning him. Actually, I could see a knockdown round one, but then 2 and 3, we're looking at Kopylov probably runs away with it. I don't know. I'm going to go to Kopylov decision there. Yeah. On to the next fight. We got Bo Nickel versus Adolfo Vieira. Ooh. Tricky fight. Bo Nickel just recently lost to RDR. Not too recently. It was like 6 months ago. Bad loss, though. And especially after what RDR looked like against Brennan Allen. Bad loss. That is a horrible look. Yeah, very concerning. Because if Adolfo Vieira was purely a striker, I'd be like, well, Nickel might get it done. Adolfo Vieira is like a legit black belt, insane jiu-jitsu. So I don't know if Bo Nickel's going to want to grapple with him. Both are shit on the feet. I could see Bo Nickel winning on volume, though, or at least like you could see it being very close, where half of the people are thinking Bo won, half of the people thinking Adolfo won, and then they're just going to give it to Nickel. Obviously, but I don't know. I'm hoping Nickel can show some improvements, because even though I'm not a fan, it is better for the sport if he's winning. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know at all, but it's not the easiest matchup, but it is quite a step down from RDR. So it should be another decent win for him, but we'll see what happens. On to the next fight, we got Kyle Dawkins versus Gerald Mearshot, GM3 himself. So Dawkins came back. This will be his second fight during his second stint in the UFC. I forget who he faced last time, but he got a first round knockout, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I think he knocked out. I didn't watch it. I didn't see the fight. But I think I gotta look. I have to look. It was Michel Pereira, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was Michel Pereira. Why did I miss that fight? Oh, because it was on the China card, so I was like dead asleep. But yeah, knocked out Michel Pereira in the first round. 40, not even 45 seconds into the fight. Got out Michel Pereira. Insane. He's ready to come back and be better than ever. GM3, man. One of the trickiest fighters to ever predict for, predict against. More so predict against. He might throw out that third round sub attempt. That might stick. He might randomly catch you on the feet and you look like a bum. GM3 is still a guy that I hate to bet against, because even though we can look at this and that and everything else on paper, GM3 sorry, I was yawning. GM3 is somewhat still legit, which is so crazy to say. But I do think Dawkins has made the right improvements. I don't even think he was that bad to begin with when he initially left the UFC. But it definitely looks like, I mean, we only seen 45 seconds of him, but compared to what I've heard about him on the regional scene before returning, he's back and he's better than ever, man. I gotta go Dawkins second round KO here. I could see first round being really bad for GM3, and second round Dawkins just puts him away early. On to the next fight, we got Fatima Klein versus Angela Hill. Angela Hill, always pretty sneaky too, throws out volume, very active in her fights. Basically sparring matches, but it's alright. She's versatile. She's been around sport a long, long time. Absolute respect. One of the pioneers of women's MMA, especially strawweight. We have to put respect on her name. We have to. However, Fatima Klein might be the best prospect in the UFC strawweight division. Might be. In a very weak division where Mackenzie Dern holds the title. Yes, it is November 5th, and I say that. Fatima Klein looks like she might be the one to do it. And be the next generation. And it's so hard to predict against Hill sometimes too, especially with the prospects. I am going Fatima Klein. First round sub, I think, gets a sneaky trip in there on Angela Hill and gets her out of there. I want to say in the hometown, but I think Fatima Klein's from Jersey, right outside northern Jersey, whatever. Trains with Blanche Magomedov, pretty sure. Who also from Jersey, but who knows? Fatima Klein, first round sub, making a statement over Angela Hill. I could see it. On to the next fight, we got Bayasangor Susakayev versus Eric Mechanico. Alright. So both these guys, at least it feels like it's only been like about 2 months, maybe 3 months since these guys have fought. Actually, Susakayev was on Hamzat card, I believe. I think it was Hamzat card. What was that, 319? So about a little less than 3 months. Actually, by this point, it would be 3 months. Mechanico was on an Apex card. It might have been the Apex card right before that, because I'm pretty sure I matched up both these guys because they're on the same schedule and everything. Mechanico beat Brundage, I'm almost positive. It was a close fight, but I think I did have Mechanico winning the last 2 rounds or something like that. Or maybe no, I think I had Mechanico winning first 2, losing last. Susakayev when he fought that guy on short notice, I was like, okay, whatever. We'll see how he does. I was kind of excited about. It's just like the activity I was excited about. But he went in there. He looked alright. He showed some flashes of his striking. I think he eventually ended up getting the sub. What happened? I think the leg kick started adding up on the other dude in the second round. And, Susakayev, I was like, I'm like not that impressed. I was like, I think this guy, I mean, only one fight, just fought right before that, so it's so tough to put that against him, but, at the same time, I was like, okay, this guy's just all talk right now, in terms of what he's saying he's going to be doing, I don't know. So I'm not completely sold on him yet. However, Eric Mechanico, I think, is one of the worst fighters in the middleweight division. Beat Brundage, which is nowadays a sneaky win. It's not the sneakiest. It's not up there. It's not that crazy, but it is somewhat decent. I don't know. I'm going Susakayev first round KO. I think he gets it done, man. I just don't think Mechanico's on that level. I think Susakayev's going to come out there and just make it look easy in a way and take out Mechanico. On to the next fight. We got Tracy Cortez versus Aaron Blanche Magomedov. 2, I guess. I guess these girls have fought before. I'd imagine it's probably on the regional scene or something. And if that was the case, I think Blanche Magomedov would have won because I think at one point she was undefeated. Um, Cortez fought International Fight Week, beat Viviane Araújo. Fight was kind of dull. She did what she needed to do to win. Good for her. Blanche Magomedov. That Manon Fiorot fight is just always going to be like a. Striking still really bad. Grappling is so legit. And I just think the grappling is just going to overwhelm Cortez. I don't think Blanche Magomedov's going to try to stand with Cortez, even though I don't think Cortez striking is like that scary where you might want to shoot. I don't know. I think Blanche is going to have a decent game plan. She's going to get it done in the hometown, home city, whatever. Um, yeah, I'm going Blanche Magomedov decision here, but it would be. I don't know who I even want to win, honestly. For the sake of the division, I think maybe Blanche Magomedov would be better, but I also think Cortez might be better. I want to see improvements to the striking of Blanche Magomedov, and I want to see Cortez become a well-rounded fighter more so. Or at least just, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens with all that, but yeah, Blanche Magomedov decision. On to the next fight. The main card. If this is the real battle order, I'm fine with it, I think. We got Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. This fight just got scheduled like 3 weeks ago, maybe less. No, I think it was like 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, 4 maybe. Insane that they threw us this fight. On top of everything else. This is the biggest surprise out of the two that we got hit with in a few weeks. Sean Brady just destroyed Leon Edwards. One of the best performances I've seen this year against Leon Edwards. Michael Morales just dog walked Gilbert Burns. This fight is low-key kind of really tricky because part of me thinks Morales still has these holes and he's still so young, and I just don't know how he would do against a dominant grappler in Sean Brady. However, Sean Brady's durability is always going to kind of concern me. Even though he's refined the striking defense looks better too. Michael Morales is no joke. Very technical striker, very long, rangy for the division. He is legit. The question is, can Brady hang on the feet for 3 rounds with Morales? And can Morales hang on the ground with Brady for 3 rounds? And I really don't know. And that's like the greatest part about these high-level title eliminator should be fights. It shouldn't be Bologna and Gary. I mean, even though, well, Bilal won, he's definitely not getting it, but you know what I mean. But I'm so excited for this fight. Winner of this should be fighting the winner of JDM Islam next, without doubt. And I am a Shavkat fan, but Shavkat needs one more after all of this. I think Sean Brady is going to get it done. It's going to be close. 29-28. It's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. I think Morales will lose his O in this one, but he's going to be decent. And people are going to be like, okay, give him a couple years and he's going to be so good, But yeah, I think this is Brady's time to shine. I'm going to rock with him. That Leon performance, I know Leon hasn't really technically looked the same, but he looked so dominant in the grappling that even though I think Morales is going to survive a lot better, I think it's just going to be too overwhelming. I think it's going to give Morales a lot of issues. So I got to go Brady decision there. Then on to the second surprise that we got hit with probably a week or two before the Brady and Morales fight got announced. Benoit Saint Denis versus Benil Dariush. Saint Denis just put on a pretty good performance against Mauricio Hufi, who everyone thought was going to run through him. And then Benil Dariush proved everyone wrong and went out there and pieced up Moicano for 3 rounds. No, actually, no. I think I had that fight 29-28. Did I have that 29-28? I might have had that 29-28. For what's his name? For Benil. I think I had Benil winning the last 2 rounds. I think Benil got hurt in the first round, but Benil and Denis, I think they're both southpaws from what I remember, or Saint Denis switch stance. It's a very interesting fight, but I don't think Saint Denis grappling is on the level of Dariush's. Yes, I say that. I do think Dariush is still one of the sneakiest grapplers in lightweight division. I think Saint Denis would be able to defend the sub attempts if they're, but I don't think Saint Denis is good enough to get his own offensive grappling going and even submitting Benil. I can't see it. I just cannot see it. On the feet, it gets interesting, though. I do think Saint Denis might have the advantage on the feet. I could see Saint Denis getting tagged, though. Benil just always finds that left somehow. That left hand is just a freaking cannon, bro. I don't know, man. I think it's very close fight. I could see Saint Denis winning for sure. But I'm going to rock Benil. I just think his grappling's a little better. I think Benil's going to be taking it to the ground, too. And I think it's going to get a little interesting over there. So I'm going to go with Benil, Dariush. Let's say decision. Yeah, decision. On to the, was it? Not the headliner. Feature fight on the main card or whatever, or is that I don't know. Either way, we got Protez versus Leon Edwards. You know what? Actually, I'm kind of mad. I understand why they did this, but I'm kind of mad. Brady and Morales should be in this slot, and then this slot should be the what is it? The feature fight? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore with all this lingo, but this should have kicked off the main card, I think. Set the tone for it. I think Protez is going to bring the fight to Leon. I think Leon's going to be a little more aggressive, but he's going to be careful at the same time. Protez power is no joke. The Ian Gary loss is still very but and I could see Leon giving Protez some issues, but because it's another long range striker. Protez just lost to one 6 months ago. Protez also coming off that spinning elbow KO against Jeff Neal. And he looked like he was getting into like a flow state kind of mode. He was just starting to get it going midway through the first, all the way through the end of that fight, which is crazy. You don't really do that, Jeff Neal. So that was interesting, but I don't know. I do think Leon's kind of out of his prime. I think Protez is a little overrated. I am going to rock with Protez second round KO, though. I think Protez is going to finish Edwards, and it's going to be kind of scenes. But that would be scenes. I don't think anyone has knocked out Leon, right? Am I missing something? I don't think Leon's ever been knocked out. So Yeah, I know he got stunned by Diaz, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. On to the co-main event. We got Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Wei Li. This week, especially, no, this week in general, I have been so back and forth on who I think is going to win this fight. If you would have asked me the 5 months before it, probably like 3 or 4 months before it, I would have said Zhang Wei Li. I would have been like, she's going to get done. I have a weird feeling, even a very old, probably somewhat unmotivated Shevchenko, I have a weird feeling that she is just gonna wrestle fuck Zhang Wei Li and gonna show that she is stronger than Zhang Wei Li. I don't see Shevchenko really standing with her. And if she does, she's gonna be, outside on the outside. She's gonna be very aware of these blitzing attacks from Zhang Wei Li. Um, I don't know, man. I have to go Shevchenko. I have a weird feeling that Shevchenko's gonna win this. But we talk about later man skill. Moving up. Does it apply with the women too? Who knows? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm very interested in this. Not really. I'm not that excited for this fight. I felt like there was more that needed to be done in both of the divisions. I know I'm on the outside about that opinion. This fight does not interest me as much as it should. If Shevchenko never lost to Grasso and was kind of doing it, then yeah, I'd probably be like, okay, this is pretty sick. But this whole Shevchenko second reign, it doesn't feel the same. She's barely winning these fights. She's being boring, and I get it. I'm just saying, but and if Whaley maybe never lost to Rose, it'd be even crazier too. But yeah, I still have a weird feeling Shevchenko's gonna win now. I have that weird feeling. I gotta rock with that. I'll admit if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's how we're rocking. And then on to the main event. Something I think about daily for the past 6 months, just about. And by the point this fight happens, over 6 months. Jack Della Maddalena, in my opinion, second best boxer in UFC right now. Very close second. If people argue one, I'm fine with it. I get it. Sneaky grappling. Never accepts bomb position. Always looks for a way up. Builds himself back up. Very, very sneaky grappler. Offensively, not there, but we don't need that in this fight. We need survivability and insane takedown defense. He looked phenomenal against Bilal Muhammad. I rewatched back the fight. Um, Initially, I was like, Bilal wasn't shooting takedowns. And granted, yes, Bilal was not spamming them. He was still shooting takedowns. And JDM was shucking them off. JDM looked so good in that fight to where I was basically like, I gotta do JDM against Islam. Like, JDM might just be that guy. However, Islam Makhachev, First off, greatest lightweight of all time. As of right now, greatest lightweight of all time. His resume is a little flawed though, which sucks. It's not really his fault. Charles Oliveira wins always. I think that's his best win of all time. I don't think we can really argue any of that. I think. Oh man. Charles Oliveira win is probably his best one of all time. Poirier win was kind of sketchy, but he got it done and got the finish at the end. Moicano, very short notice. There's also Moicano, who also just lost to Benil. Yeah. Who did he face after that? Oh, Volkanovski. But the second one was short notice. No, yeah. The first Volk fight, very close. That was probably the best. That was the highest level skill fight I've ever seen in my life. That fight was crazy. So close too. Makhachev has great names on the resume, but the way he was doing it, I don't know. It's not that flawed. It's still pretty. It's still pretty impressive. I can't hate on it. Makhachev's looking big, man. I've seen him. I've seen videos of him at welterweight, man. He's massive. That's why I also don't think he's moving back down to 155, regardless of the result. Which is crazy. Lighter man skill too. We just seen what Taporia done. We're seeing what Holloway is doing when he's built himself up to lightweight. Who else can we name drop that's looking better? There's others. I know there's others. I just can't think. But lighter man skill, as of recently, has been the new thing I'm on. Hamza Shemaev. Actually, he was really good at welterweight too. But yeah, I think the lighter man skill, especially if they're building into these divisions, genuinely building, not taking short notice fights, not doing it on 3 months' notice. Talking, you're giving them 6+ months to build into these divisions. They're just going to be better. There is 100% a way that JDM can win this fight. And I thought, for the first 4 months since after that Bilal fight, maybe 4.5 months, I thought that was what's going to happen. JDM's going to find a way, just like he did it against Bilal, just like he did it against Burns. However, I can't go against Makhachev. He's proven me wrong so many times. The lighter man skill thing, just greatness. It's there. It's unfortunate. I could see JDM doing decent in the first round, maybe 2 rounds. And then Islam just gets a nasty trip in the beginning of the third. JDM's on his back most of the third. Gets subbed on some sneaky stuff from Islam. And Islam Makhachev will be 2-belt holder, running welterweight, hopefully. Probably not. I can see him fight one more time after that and retire. And just like that, we will have Makhachev as welterweight champion. But I would love JDM to win, man. Oh, I hope JDM wins. It's just so much better for the sport in terms of actually, it's not. It's weird. No, it's just better for me, honestly, because I love watching him fight. Makhachev, even though I'm not a big fan of Makhachev, it's he still goes out there, he gets finishes, he does a lot of crazy good high level stuff that makes you go wow. So either way, we'll see what happens, but I hope JDM wins, but I gotta rock Islam 3rd round sub. That is the 2-for-1. I have 10 seconds left before this video ends. So that is it, YouTube. I will see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.